What if the habits that define who we are were not written in our DNA, but quietly shaped by thousands of invisible choices made by generations before us? Across continents, mountains, deserts, forests, and crowded cities, billions of people wake each morning believing their way of life is simply normal. Yet to an outsider, every greeting, every meal, every celebration, and every family tradition tells a remarkable story about survival, identity, and belonging. Culture is far more than music, clothing, or festivals. It is an unwritten language that teaches children how to see the world long before they can explain it. Lifestyle, in turn, becomes the living expression of those beliefs, adapting to changing environments while preserving echoes of the past. This journey begins not in a single country, but across humanity itself, where ancient customs continue to shape modern lives in ways most people never notice. From villages where centuries-old rituals remain untouched by time to futuristic cities driven by artificial intelligence, every society carries a unique balance between tradition and innovation. Behind every architectural masterpiece lies a history of climate, faith, and community. Behind every traditional recipe is a story of geography, migration, and necessity. Even the smallest daily routines reveal generations of accumulated wisdom, passed from grandparents to grandchildren without written instruction. As globalization connects distant cultures faster than ever before, traditions that survived for centuries now face unprecedented transformation. Some customs disappear forever, while others evolve into powerful symbols of national identity. Yet despite these differences, one truth remains constant. Every culture reflects the universal human desire to create meaning, strengthen communities, and leave a lasting legacy for future generations. Our documentary begins by exploring this extraordinary tapestry of human civilization, revealing how countless lifestyles have been shaped by history, environment, belief, and resilience. Every step of this journey uncovers not only what makes each culture unique, but also the invisible threads that connect every society on Earth into one remarkable human story. Long before borders were drawn on maps or nations were defined by flags, the environment quietly became humanity's first teacher. Towering mountains demanded resilience, fertile river valleys encouraged cooperation, vast deserts inspired endurance, and endless coastlines opened pathways to exploration and trade. Over centuries, these landscapes shaped not only where people lived, but how they dressed, what they ate, the homes they built, and the beliefs they carried from one generation to the next. In colder regions, thick stone walls, layered clothing, and preserved foods became essential for survival, while tropical communities mastered open-air architecture, lightweight fabrics, and farming methods perfectly suited to warm climates. Every adaptation reflected generations of observation and experience rather than written instruction. As civilizations expanded, trade routes connected distant worlds, carrying far more than spices, silk, and precious metals. They transported languages, music, architecture, philosophy, religion, and ideas that blended with local traditions to create entirely new cultural identities. Some societies welcomed outside influence while carefully preserving their ancestral customs, while others transformed dramatically as new technologies and beliefs reshaped everyday life. Throughout history, festivals marked the rhythm of the seasons, honoring harvests, victories, faith, family, and remembrance. These celebrations became living archives, preserving stories that books alone could never capture. Music echoed across valleys, dances told forgotten legends, and handcrafted art expressed identities that survived wars, migrations, and political change. Even today, millions continue rituals whose origins reach back hundreds or even thousands of years, often without realizing how deeply history still influences their daily routines. Yet modern life introduces a new chapter in this timeless story. Digital technology, rapid urbanization, and global communication have created unprecedented opportunities for cultural exchange while also challenging long-standing traditions. Young generations now navigate two worlds at once, one rooted in heritage and another shaped by a constantly connected global society. The question is no longer whether cultures will change, because change has always been part of human history. The true question is how communities can preserve the wisdom of their ancestors while embracing a future that grows more interconnected with every passing day, ensuring that the rich diversity of human civilization continues to inspire generations yet to come. As the 21st century unfolds, culture is evolving at a speed never witnessed before in human history. A traditional dance performed in a remote village can now reach millions of viewers across the globe within hours. A family recipe preserved for generations can inspire kitchens on distant continents. Languages once spoken only within isolated communities are finding new life through digital archives, online classrooms, and passionate young creators determined to preserve their heritage. Technology has transformed the way cultures are shared, celebrated, and remembered, creating opportunities that previous generations could scarcely imagine. Yet this digital revolution carries a delicate balance. While global connectivity encourages understanding and appreciation between societies, it can also blur the distinct identities that make each culture unique. Historic neighborhoods give way to expanding cities, traditional crafts struggle against mass production, and younger generations often find themselves caught between honoring ancestral customs and embracing modern lifestyles. Around the world, communities are responding with remarkable determination. Master artisans continue teaching centuries-old techniques to apprentices. Indigenous elders record oral histories before they fade into silence. Museums preserve priceless artifacts, while cultural festivals bring forgotten traditions back to life through music, dance, storytelling, and craftsmanship. Schools increasingly recognize the importance of local history alongside global education, reminding future generations that progress does not require abandoning the past. In many regions, sustainable tourism has become another powerful force for preservation, allowing visitors to experience authentic traditions while providing local communities with economic support to protect their cultural heritage. Travelers are no longer searching only for famous landmarks. They seek genuine human connections, traditional homes, regional cuisine, handcrafted art, and stories that reveal the soul of a place. These encounters remind us that culture is not a museum exhibit frozen in time. It is a living, breathing expression of human creativity that continues to adapt without losing its roots. Across every continent, people are discovering that preserving cultural identity is not about resisting change, but about guiding it with wisdom, respect, and pride. In an increasingly interconnected world, the greatest strength of humanity may lie not in becoming the same, but in protecting the extraordinary diversity that allows every community to contribute its unique voice to the shared story of our civilization. In the end, the greatest story of culture is not about how different humanity has become, but about how deeply connected it has always been. Every civilization, whether born beside mighty rivers, hidden within dense forests, scattered across windswept deserts, or thriving along distant coastlines, has searched for the very same answers. How do we protect our families? How do we honor those who came before us? How do we build a future worthy of the generations yet to come? These timeless questions echo through every language, every tradition, and every corner of our planet. While customs, clothing, architecture, music, and beliefs may appear remarkably different, they all reveal the same enduring human desire to belong, to create, and to leave behind something meaningful. Today, as technology continues to erase distances and connect billions of lives in an instant, humanity stands at a defining moment. Never before have we possessed such extraordinary power to learn from one another, to preserve endangered traditions, and to celebrate the richness of cultures beyond our own. Yet with that opportunity comes an equally profound responsibility. Every forgotten language, abandoned craft, demolished historic site, or lost tradition represents the disappearance of a unique chapter in the story of our shared civilization. Preserving cultural heritage is not an act of resisting progress, it is an investment in the wisdom that has guided humanity through centuries of change. The innovations of tomorrow become stronger when they are rooted in the knowledge of yesterday. Across the globe, communities, historians, artists, educators, and young generations are proving that tradition and modernity do not have to compete. Together, they can shape a future where identity is strengthened rather than diminished by global connection. As the sun rises over ancient monuments and sets behind modern skylines, one truth becomes unmistakably clear. Culture is not a relic of the past. It is a living legacy carried in every story we tell, every meal we share, every song we sing, every language we protect, and every value we choose to pass forward. Long after monuments wither and empires fade into history, the spirit of humanity will continue to endure through the traditions, memories, and shared experiences that unite us all. In protecting the diversity of our cultures, we preserve not only the history of countless civilizations, but the very essence of what it means to be human. This legacy belongs to every generation, and its next chapter is being written today.